slides like about the hackathons and all those things. Should I share it now?
Yeah, that would be great. Yes, please do.
Are you able to see the screen? Hello?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So I will
But
just
it's
start with the
my side. I don't know if everyone else is facing that issue.
Divyansh.
We can't see your PPT actually. We can see the canvas screen,
Hmm.
but the PPT isn't visible.
Exactly. Miss now is visible.
Yeah.
Sorry.
दिव्यांश तू एक बार ट्राई कर ले.
Yes.
Like we will keep the session like interactive only. I will just tell you the how we came across this hackathon and the problem statement, all those things. So like first 4 to 5 minutes, I will just explain the hackathon and the problem statement itself, and then you can ask questions and all those things.
So is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just make it full screen. Yes.
Yeah, so this is the Harbinger hackathon organized by RBI. And unlike other hackathons, like there are 24-hour, 36 hours hackathons, the PPT run or round and all those things. This is the complete process of around 3 to 4 phases in the 7 to 8 months. So around September or October, this hackathon started with the proposal submission. And initially, as I came across this RBI website and they have mentioned this Harbinger hackathon. And in previous projects, we worked on similar things, like some part of the problem statement we solved in the previous hackathons. So that's why we chose this hackathon and this problem statement. I will explain the problem statement later. So this is the nationwide, actually it's a global hackathon. So there are many countries also participate in the hackathon. Here you can see the competition statistics. The 496 teams, 49 teams, and like around 15 countries are there which participate in this hackathon. And this is mainly hackathon organized for the fintech firms, like big fintech firms, banks, and all those things. As RBI is the financial regulatory body, so the problem statements and all those things are related to the financial regulation things. There were 3 peers for this year. The tokenized KYC first one. The second one is offline CBDC digital rupee, which we chose the offline CBDC segment and we own that PS price. And the third one was the enhancing trust. The competition journey started in the September itself with the solution proposal. Then there was a virtual evaluation. There were 2 virtual evaluation rounds where we have to present our PPT to them, the solution, the approach, and then the like fourth phase was around 8 weeks of a solution development phase. So for that phase, they provide they gave us the 5 lakhs rupees solution development stipend. So in those 8 weeks, we had to uh, like actually make the solution, test it, take feedback from the mentors. So like they assigned Vishal Kanwati sir. So like he's the CTO, like Chief Technical Officer of the NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. So he was our mentor, and every Friday there was one meet, and we have to submit one report, like what we did actually in that 7 days in every week. So every Friday we had to meet. They give us a feedback on the like journey, the process of the solution product. So this was the whole competition, and there was hefty amount of prizes for the winners also. Like there was a first prize of 40 lakhs, the 40 lakhs for the winners. Second was the runner-up prize, 20 lakhs of runner-up prize, and all those teams who went into the solution development phase, and every team will get the 5 lakh rupees of solution development stipend. Next slide. So this is all about the Harbinger hackathon. In every year around September, October itself, the RBI launched this hackathon. This was the fourth edition of the hackathon. This is the our project Spursh offline digital cash. Next slide. So you may like it feel little bit complex, the CBDC, the terms and all those things. Like this is related to the somewhat finance related terms, but it's interesting. Bear with me. It's CBDC. Like you may know the Bitcoin is a decentralized currency. You can transact from US to the India like wherever. It's a decentralized. No one like regulate it. But India also wants its own centralized currency. It's a centralized currency. The digital Bitcoin is minted by the like it based on the blockchain and all those things. But this currency, this is also a digital currency, but this is regulated by the RBI. Like RBI prints the money like 500 rupees, 200 rupees. So in similar way, it prints the digital tokens, digital 500 rupees a note, all those things. So this is the digital currency printed by the RBI, which is known as CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. This definition is e-rupee, digital rupee, issued directly by the RBI and no commercial bank involved in the middle. And this is a programmable. I will explain the programmable, what programmable means in later. Next slide. So, like, what was the exact problem statement? The offline CBDC. Like, you may have did the payment UPI, Phone Pay, Google Pay. You use that things like nowadays everyone use the online transaction things UPI. So if UPI works on the net, it requires proper net plus the your bank account linked with your actual account, then NPCI server and all those things. So it requires the net, but there is villages where the cellular data and the net is not available. There is no tower, cell towers, and all those things. So we can't use the UPI in those villages. So the RBI and the government want to do something like that. People in the rural villages also should be able to do the transactions. And each transaction is based on the e-rupee, digital rupee. So our problem statement was to just figure out the way to do the transaction in the offline mode. So current transaction is in the online mode. We have to do in the offline mode. So there are many security related things, regulation things, compliance things, and all those things. Majorly the security things. When we are building any product in the financial systems, we have to ensure that it is fully secure and the safe because again it is a financial thing. So doing these things in the offline mode is our problem statement, like doing the transaction offline in offline mode. And there are like you may say there is if there is UPI, you can just switch it in the offline mode. So you just go through the CBDC thing, central bank digital currency. The like it's a very big concept. I will not be able to explain it fully here only in the session only. But you just think like what is the CBDC and all these things. You can search about it. But just understand our problem statement. It is the offline transaction, doing the transaction in offline mode without internet, without anything on the just aeroplane mode. You can say that. Next slide. So just for the reference, I have mentioned the UPI and CBDC difference. UPI you use every day. You know what UPI, Google Pay, commercial bank. This all the things related to the UPI. And there is a e-wallet. So you may know the Phone Pay wallet and all those things. So as I said, RBI had developed the currency, e-rupee currency, which is printed and minted by the RBI, the digital token, and which sits in your wallet in the mobile itself. It doesn't link with the any NPCI server, any commercial bank account, any GPay, Google Pay, Phone Pay, nothing. It just sits in your mobile itself. Like it sits in your wallet, physical wallet. In similar way, it just sits in your mobile itself. And through the mobile, we have to transact this money, rupees 500, 200, 2000, anything from one mobile to the another mobile. So for that, we use the Bluetooth. Through the Bluetooth, we transact the 500 rupees note token to the another token offline in offline mode. So this was our problem statement, and like it was proper purely based on the cryptography, uh, security, the major domain was the cryptography and security, because this, like in as I said, we have to make it secure for the transaction purpose. Yeah, this is the problem set, the offline transaction.
Thank you so much for the PPT. I want to ask, how did you discover RBI Harbinger? Like, did you follow some specific platform? If students wanna take part in hackathons of this scale, where can they find such opportunities?
Okay, so
Can I answer this?
yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, Actually, this hackathon specifically, we came to him because of Vishal, because he is very interested in RBI and he's constantly been monitoring their sites for whatever new updates that keep happening. But apart from that, if you want major of the mainstream hackathons that you want to participate in, I would recommend to actively uh, see and check what is happening on Unstock. Unstock.com on there you can see many opportunities because companies uh, keep on keep on bringing hackathons or different kind of competitions for hiring processes. So that is one major platform I would suggest. Apart from that, LinkedIn also serves as a good platform. If you follow specific channels or even Telegram groups, then you can also be updated about these kind of competitions. So this is what I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
LinkedIn is a good source. Like you will get many opportunities on LinkedIn.
So you mentioned Unstop and LinkedIn as the major sources. Okay.
Yes.
One informal question: how did you come up with the name for the team, A-Sparsh?
Okay. Uh, so like in initial days, when we started just working and all those things, like normally how we give the name to the project. So our project name was the Asperge only. The team name was not decided yet. The project name was Asperge. And
Yeah.
Asperge is the product name is the like agnostic secure payment architecture, resilient architecture. So it was the acronym of the whole big project name. And then just that project name was the our team name only.
Also, it was like a splish means and it's not possible. So we wanted to indirectly state that security is like the aim is to make so security that it is untouchable by malicious.
Yeah.
That's nice. The next half of the session will be carried by Trupti Mahajan, so I'd like to hand it over to her. Also, is Harshvardhan in the meet? Has he joined?
Yes,
Yeah.
Harshvardhan is in the meet.
Oh, sorry,
Abhijit might
Abhijit.
not be.
Um, Ayush, we missed your intro. I'm sorry. If you
Oh,
could.
no, it's perfectly all right. I believe it's because of your nervous or something. I don't know. But it's
Yeah,
perfectly all right.
okay. Trupti, you can carry the rest.
Ayush, since we missed your introduction, you can take some time to introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Ayush Meghal. I'm currently in the third year pursuing ANTC, which is one of the most dreaded branches of our college, I guess. But it's all right. And I am very lucky to be a part of this team. That's all.
All right. So it was actually a very good presentation by you, Harshvardhan. We got to know a lot about your project. Can we like steer the conversation more into the technical side of your project? Like, what was the tech stack that you guys used? And do you think your choice of tools played a role, in your victory?
Yeah. So Abhijit is the main, like our CTO guy of the his project. But yeah, we all know the things. So for the technical things, we started with the app building, the Kotlin for the building the app. But before that, you just ensure what are your requirements. So like this is the like fintech product. So we require the security, safety, and all those things. So Rust is the more important, which is the memory level language. It, it's very secure and all those things. So I will say, like, firstly, do research, find your requirements, which tech stack, which things we will require for the project and all those things. And then you can like learn those things there, yeah, or go in that directions. So we use the Rust for the backend and the security related things. Then Kotlin for the Android app. Then Swift for the iOS app, and more of the like technical things on the cryptography based things. Like there are so many cryptography things in our project. Yeah, Divyansh, you want to add anything?
Yes, so we basically use Rust for its speed, zero cost. It has zero cost extraction, and as Harshvardhan said, it is we have just quite into the things. We have uh, some terms like WBC, cross, and ZKP. Apart from this, so that's it.
All right, great. Using Rust is crazy, honestly. Like, it's not a very mainstream language that, people decide to learn. But I think for fintech stuff, you definitely inspired people to, learn more niche stuff. Uh, what do you think made your solution stand out? I believe since it was an RBI hackathon, the problem statement itself must have been quite descriptive. But what was your X factor addition to the solution that made that really impressed the judges?
I think that there was the main reason why they liked our project was because it was entirely a software-based approach. Now there were banks and firms competing against each other, like second was Bank of Baroda, etc., etc. So they Preventing with either some hardware-based approach or some ATM-based approach. Now, the problem is that we need to keep in mind for whom we are developing this. So, as Harsharan said, it is for the rural people. And if we use a hardware-based approach, then there would be some end cost to the user user, to the end user. Like there is some approach using SIM overlays or some other techniques, but that resulted in cost would be an as well as where they have to see for the logistics and supply chain. So that created a lot of overhead. But since our approach is entirely based, there was no anyone personally. They are project on what is already existing, the phones, and whatever security we could find in them using cryptography. So that is why they preferred our project because there was no end cost and it was feasible for them as well.
Yeah, I just want to add one point in this. Like when we started this process hackathon journey, as I said, this hackathon was mainly for the fintech startups or firms or banks. So they all have the knowledge of how things works in this fintech and all those things. We didn't have that knowledge. Like what is the how bank connects to the app and all those things, the server and all those things. But it was our weakness, but we turned that weakness into our like strong thing. As every other fintech and bank tried to implement the solution based on the current architecture, like the traditional route of the system. But we challenge that. We thought that we will do something different. Like that was not our thought, but it was because we don't know those things. So that was the main part. Like we chose the different, like, complete different path. Like everyone made the software hardware based solutions. We just made the software based solution because we don't know like how hardware things works, and we don't have that like resources, the knowledge, like specific hardware knowledge. So that was the first point. That was the like main thing that we won the hackathon. And the second point, I will say, the X factor, like we were the youngest team in the whole hackathon, like all 496 teams. So in somewhere the judges and all those things, people knew that like they have done work like from if they don't have the sandbox, yeah, that fintech knowledge, the bank support and all those things. Then also they tried and reached to this level. So I will say that was the second factor. We challenged the system, we challenged the traditional routes and developed our own solution. So that is the thing. Uh, just keep going.
All right, that's seriously very impressive. Uh, let's talk about the challenges you faced. So you said it was a 7, 8 month long journey, and I'm pretty sure there must have been a lot of points in time where you guys thought this is just not working. How did you guys deal with that, and what were some of the instances you guys can, tell us about it?
Abhijit, I think Abhijit will answer this question. Like he has, hello Abhijit.
Yes, yes. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay, so I will tell mostly the tech part, the tech challenges. The first challenge was we tried everything in React Native. Uh, but later, like after 15 to 20 days, we understood that the React Native libraries are too old and we like do not have much uh, access to the phone root level. So we changed our whole system from React Native to Kotlin. Then we build our whole system in Kotlin for low-end phones. First of all, we built for the higher-end phones, and we tried for the phones above 30 to 50,000. Then our application was about 120 MB, and the phones like 5 to 10,000 were not supporting that. So our main challenge was to reduce that 120 MB application to 20 to 30 MB. So I feel that was the major challenge.
Also, like there was a point where like there was no like thing to go ahead. Uh, we don't have any solution or exact path like how to build the system or all those things. So like initial phase, there was a point where we just like नहीं हो रहा आपसे, let's ramp up. एक ऐसे भी सिचुएशन थी तो वहां पे हमने सोचा था कि नहीं हो रहा, लेकिन we just tried like let's just submit the proposal, just let's just submit what we did till date. So there was a that point only, that point also that uh, कुछ नहीं हो रहा लेकिन भी हमने सबमिट किया. सो हाँ, बहुत ऐसे चैलेंजेस आए कि नहीं हो रहा पता था, लेकिन जितना किया था उतना तो सबमिट किया, तो उसमें कुछ अलग अप्रोच वगैरह निकल के आया और आगे अगले स्टेज में चले गए.
All right. So, when you guys actually pitched your solution, the questions that these judges tend to ask, are they more technical, or are they more focused on the business impact or the actual feasibility of implementation? Like you said, rural areas में implement करना है. So, what kind of questions do the judges tend to pose?
So, yeah, the thing is, whatever questions we could come up with as to whatever they might ask, we had already covered that in our PPT itself. Given that whatever they had asked everyone else, like how will you scale this? If you need a hardware, how will it reach the end of country? How will it reach everyone and everything? So most of the questions that were expected, we already had got those covered. And then we were given a certain time to give our presentation and give our prototype. Was that the thing is, we were very nervous towards the start of it because the panel, the jury member, we had 5 jury members, and which included the CEO of NPCI, the director of Triple IT Hyderabad. So we were extremely nervous initially, but after a particular point, the first thing that they said after our entire demonstration was over was that we are so, I mean, we feel so nice that you guys have at least understood the problem statement properly, and the fact that you have covered most of it. To which, after which they did ask us a few questions, which were a little on the side that we were able to answer them, but it was a little on the technical side altogether. But overall, we feel that we were able to answer most of the questions in the presentation itself.
Yeah, adding into that, just like whenever you give the presentation to like any jury, any judges, don't tell them what they know. Tell them something different, like your new approach, innovation, and all those things. Don't just explain the problem set. If they knew the problem statement already, don't they just explain it again and again and again. If someone get to know the new things now, they will always like your solution. So always try to give something new, the innovation things, and highlight those things in front of the judges. That will actually create the impact. Yeah.
Okay. Like I think a lot of us have this question. Like 45 lakhs is a pretty huge amount. Did they like cut any taxes out of it?
Yeah, like
If you guys are
obviously,
okay with answering that question.
yeah, like they like that is the 30% direct TDS cut in the 45 lakhs. So around 15 lakhs was the tax itself.
Okay, that's
Now, it is
huge.
the standard. Yeah, it is a standard like for every hackathon and all those things. The standard 30% tax reduction is there. There is one
Yes,
thing
but
in if there is a stipend or innovation grant and all those things, then there is a tax limit is low. But for every prize you win, there is a 30% TDS. But we can't do anything about that. Just
Okay.
with this thing.
All right. We'll move on to the final advice or any message that you have for all of us. Like you covered a lot of suggestions during your Q&A so far, but is there something, like a piece of advice that you guys have for us?
Just one thing, that whenever you go and explain, whenever you're about to start your explanation, just bear in mind that the judges don't know your solution, right? So whatever you might think, oh no, do I really need to explain this? Do I really need to go so much into depth? Do it, because they don't know what you're talking about. So that is, like, being able to convey your idea to people matters almost as much as what you build matters.
Right. Do the rest of
Yeah,
y'all have any advice?
yeah. Like I would say, there are many things. First thing is a team. Your team should be proper. Like the four people, me, Ayush, Divyansh, and Abhijit. It is a perfect combination. Like everyone know what to do. Everyone is complementary to each one of us. So make a proper team first. Then like 50% of your work will be done after making a proper team. This is the first requirement for any hackathon. This I will again I will say try to use all the things like try to connect the dots. Your team should be the multidisciplinary team. Like you should connect the finance with the tech, then social angle, all those things. If you connect all the dots now, your solution will become more scalable, feasible, and all those things. So try to research about the solution first, and then try to build the solution. Just don't just jump to the building the solution first. Research first, make notes, do some like small calls with the any person who is into that field and all those things. We made a lot of calls to the like fintech guys, and then we came across this solution and all this. So do research first and then jump to the solution. Uh, that's all. And try to innovate things like take the help of Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, anything. But try to innovate things. Like just use those tools, AI tools for the research purpose to brainstorm with the Claude or those things. And then you will get the new ideas. That's all.
All right. Thank you so much. Now we can open the floor for our attendees to ask their questions in the chat. And to keep everything moderated, I'll pick one question at a time and you guys can address it. You can start posting your questions if you guys have any. We have a question from Suvit. What kind of hardware solutions did the other teams build? Can you tell us about that?
So most of the other teams, right, there is something called what the core of our solution was. You need a secure element somewhere where you can store your keys, somewhere where you can um, have your trusted execution done. So what most of the people were pitched was that you give them an external hardware so that it doesn't matter which phone or which device that you have. You can put on that external hardware. Maybe a SIM applet. There's something called a SIM applet, or there's something like an external cover that you can put on your phone, and then that will work as a secure element. And the other one, which since we had the bank as our competitors, banks already have an ATM network deployed into the country. So the one other approach that we came across was the like Bank of Baroda had pitched that using the ATM network, they were you can do offline CBDC based on website. But again, that became a little localized, and frankly, that we they did not tell us much about it, but this was the core of it, was what we understood. Also, we were not allowed to see other presentations or see the other solutions. So that's the answer.
All right. The next question is, how much time do you get to present your idea to the judges?
It differs from presentation to presentation, but for in our case, we got 17 minutes, I think. Of that, 12 were presentation, and the remaining time was for demo.
Okay. And some of our attendees would like to know if you can provide a detailed report of your project. Would that be possible?
Like the core technical part would be not possible because like we are currently working with that part and we are trying to patent the technical things. But we will like to give it the overall the concept and the problem statement things to use. I
Yeah,
also yeah
that would be great,
that
actually.
will yeah.
Okay. How did you as a team divide or delegate your tasks between members? Did this affect your outcome and did you do anything different in this regard?
Yeah, it really affect your outcome. As I said earlier, the team is the most important thing in the whole hackathon journey. So, like on general note, everyone should know everything. Like the ऊपर ऊपर से कुछ ना कुछ पता होना चाहिए. But everyone has some niche part. Like someone is better at the coding, doing backend, front end, all those things. Someone is better at the approach, architecture. Someone is better at the presentation. Someone is better at the all other thing, research purpose. So choose team accordingly, and everyone should know what is their task, like what he needs to be do in the team. So yeah, but everyone should have the knowledge of the whole project. Doesn't mean that if any guy is working on the architecture only or the research purpose only, he doesn't know or think how things work in the app, the technical things. He must know the basic things of the tech part also.
Okay. What was everybody in the team doing in the first year of their college?
Like
What,
the
what is that supposed to mean?
Were you guys as nerdy and intelligent as you guys are right now in your first year?
We're not intelligent. We're definitely not nerdy. But nothing in the first year as such. But from second year onwards, we did SIH and all. That is where we got a hang of it. That was our first hackathon. Second year ka SIH, and then things carried.
Okay. As you explained, you had a major challenge of reducing the app size, which were which were different challenges the team faced, and how did you solve them?
So for reducing the app size, the basically the major app size was because of the cryptographical approach that we were using called WBC. Basically, WBC has like multiple tables, so we reduce the number of tables, so app size automatically reduces. But the problem with that was the transaction were limited because of the WBC tables. Like we were limited to 15 transactions in 3 days.
Okay. How did you learn the technicalities that were new to you, like you mentioned about Rust?
Uh, for learning Rust, there is a playlist of Piyush Garg and also a playlist of Let's Get Rusty. That both playlists are like mind blowing. You will understand everything from that.
All right. Did you all vibe code when you shifted from React Native to Kotlin, or did you learn it from scratch?
I would say 70% vibe coding and 30% learning.
Yeah, but the vibe coding is like we knew what we are doing,
Yeah,
all the things. Because yeah, that's all.
we were knowing the Kotlin stuff, so it was easy to vibe code.
Okay. So your solution works offline. So how does the transaction reflect in the bank statement? Suppose I have a Dabba phone.
Yeah, yeah, you guys go ahead.
Okay, so if you have a feature phone that is your laptop, first of all, there is a limit imposed by RBI itself that in you have to. There are only 15 transactions that you can do. So that our app right had a few constraints. First of all, being 15 transactions. Second one being you have to come online once in every 3 days. So whenever you were coming online, that is when with the bank server, the reconciliation part was taking place as to whatever transactions you have done. They were supposed to be they were being reflected into the bank server once in every 3 days. And what was the other part of the question? How does the transaction takes place, right? Okay.
Okay, they've also added कि if you're uploading cache data, whenever the internet connection is established, the cache data gets deleted or corrupted, then what would you do in that
So
case?
we're not using the cached data as far as the feature phones were concerned, right? What we decided to use was what we did is first of all we were thinking as to what is something unique which will be there in each and every phone, and that's when we boiled it down to a SIM card. And then we realized that the SIM has a certain specific secure storage which can be used to secure the tokens or the keys. And then after that, we were using that to secure like your tokens and stuff. And then during reconciliation, those token status was what was being shared. So there was nothing in the cache assets. Basically, what we had to think of is if you have your phone, right? If I in most of the cases, if for example WhatsApp and all, what would be the case that I would not want my privacy to be breached if there is any privacy at all that is, but then I wouldn't want it to be breached. But in this case, people would want to have the payment application in order to, do more payments and stuff. So in our case, we had to think of whether the user itself is the malicious actor. So that is why we had to protect it from all the sides.
Also, adding on that, Rajesh mentioned about feature phones. For smartphones, we were simply storing just the nullifier of the token that was transacted. And so while reconciliation, we were only sending them. Then between the time, we were storing it in a secure thing called TW or SC, that depends on phone book. So basically, it is secure storage.
Okay, and another question is, Why did your team not use Flutter instead of Kotlin?
See, like Flutter, React Native, all these languages are cross-platform languages, and the language Kotlin is more towards like you can access all the things from your Android phone. Our major task was to make the application more secure, and we were sending all the packets, all the transaction, all the nodes through Bluetooth. So the libraries of Flutter and React Native are too old for the BLE part, and we were having too much problems in sending the packets using Flutter and React Native.
All right. You mentioned that this was a 7 to 8 month long journey. So, how did you guys manage college academics while still working on the project?
Yeah, like there are many things in same UT and all those things. And as you know, our college is like strict about these academic things. But you have to manage. Like we were just doing the labs, not lectures. I don't know like how it works in the like your autonomous things. But yeah, you can skip some classes which are not that much important and utilize the time properly. Like almost our main work we were doing in the night time only. So that was the thing. And for other things also, just the labs and yeah.
Also, what vibe coding platforms did you guys use?
The major one was GitHub Copilot and Claude Code.
Okay. Did you participate in other hackathons as well? And what went different than there and the one where you won? And how was the innovation formed? Because what AI gives already exists in the world. Or did you research or you used research papers as you mentioned to highlight the innovation for the judges?
Yeah, so there are so many things different, like complete different hackathon itself. Uh, there are so many questions. Yeah. So yeah, the first thing is I said the research part, do proper research, the proper. If you like, you can use AI, Claude or anything, but Claude knows in only one direction. If you are asking in that the tech part or on the only finance part, he doesn't know about all the other things in the project itself. So you should have that the background knowledge, the context of the project. If I'm doing this feature, let's say I'm doing X feature, I want to implement this thing also in the X feature. So that intelligence you have to build, and that intelligence will be built after doing proper research only. So you can't take proper help of the AI only. And as you said, like there are many existing things in the world that AI gives those things. Yeah, right. AI only gives the existing things only, but you can use AI in a such a way that you will get the existing things and you will build on top of those things only. So just I'm sharing the small part. So the our cryptographic solution, which are like we are going to patent that solution, that was the built on the one library which exists in the like now. But there are 3 to 4 drawbacks in that library. So we figured those drawbacks and we patched those drawbacks and then again we are patenting that solution. So yeah, you have to innovate things, do research. Yeah, that's all.
Also, AI does give what things that already exist, but even combining two or three things that already exist uh, together in a way that makes sense is also a thing which makes a solution.
And also, I'll say you should know what you want, like what exactly is that you expect from AI.
Yeah, prompting is the like main. If you are using any AI na, you should know how to ask, how to get things from the AI.
The next question is, how did you decide on Rust? Did you already know Rust, since Java already has a lot of pre-built cryptographic classes, and you decided to build an Android app? So why did you decide on Kotlin and Rust and not Java?
See, Java Kotlin is mostly Java based, so there is no more difference in Java and Kotlin. Like Java is too old. Kotlin is newer version of Java. You can say it like that. And for Rust, yeah, like we can use Java for backend purpose also, but Rust is like if you want to make a application with minimal size, fast performance, the Rust is the only language that can do all the purpose that we were needing.
So you guys are gonna patent the idea, but currently does RBI have the authority to use your ideas as the hackathon was conducted by them?
Like it doesn't work like that. If RBI conducts the hackathon, it will get the authority to implement that solution. The proper IP, the intellectual property, remains to us only. We can do whatever we want to, like, do with that solution. Yeah, RBI is the platform. It just gives the platform to innovate the thing. Yeah, you can collaborate with the RBI, work with RBI, and implement that solution. That thing is hassle free, but the intellectual property remains to us only.
Okay. During the vibe code, there will be a lot of crashes, right? And sometimes it is very difficult to debug where it is going wrong. So, as a team, you all were involved in all different tech stacks. So, suppose there were many problems, and if one problem is solved by someone and some other team member tried to solve other problem, but then I think you guys can read the question for yourselves. It's in the chat. It's by Suvit Kankaria.
Okay, so like uh, if you wipe code, there will be crashes. So it is like mostly the wipe code, like the coding platforms, coding platforms works well only when you have the knowledge of all the things. Like if I am wipe coding, so need the knowledge of Kotlin, so that if there are any crashes or if there are any bugs, I can find that and I can solve it manually. And for solving the issues in the teams, so we were using GitHub issues. So like let's say I found any issue, I was posting on GitHub issues, and like let's say the issue was of Kotlin, so I would assign Divyansh for that purpose. Like if say Divyansh find any part in Rust, yeah, or in Swift, Ayush, he will assign Ayush or Harshavardhan for that. So GitHub issues was the most important part for us handling all this stuff.
Okay. As you use Bluetooth for offline mode, is there any connection range limit?
Yes, there is a limit of 10 to 15 meter, and the problem statement itself was pair to merchant. So like if you want to pay from yeah, for from like let's say from me to any merchant, then only it was possible.
Okay. Suppose a user performs an important transaction in offline mode and then loses their smartphone before the transaction syncs with the bank server. How would the transaction reconciliation and ownership verification be handled securely?
So the entire CBDC system is developed, or the principle of the CBDC is the same as the pay like a cash only. So it's similar like if you do transaction and through the wallet, your physical wallet, and you again like lost your wallet in somewhere else, so you can't like get it back. So there are two main reasons. If you go into deeper into CBDC thing, now you will get these things like how to why we need to reconcile with the bank, which things we have to reconcile with the bank, which things we don't have to reconcile with the bank. So these are more related to the proper the principal things of the CBDC architecture.
Okay, so this will be the last question we'll be taking up since we've already elapsed the time for today. According to you, what would be the roadmap for FYs? Any playlist, docs, or courses?
Yeah, I would suggest that for now, just try to learn the things, like explore your domain. See, in this era, like there is AI in every work, like every coding and all those tasks. But what thing AI will not do is the multidisciplinary things, like like one thing in depth, but you should know all other things. Your learning curve should be the T-shaped curve. You know one thing in the deep, but other things like little. So like that, just your learning curve should be diverse and holistic.
And also, I will suggest don't stuck only into MERN stack. Try to learn more things out of MERN. Like
Exactly.
our college, in our college, it's like every other guy learns MERN. It's try to learn DevOps, try to learn other languages. There are
Yes,
many
I
playlists.
agree. I'd say
Uh,
explore as much as you can. Try development in different languages, Spring Boot, Mon, DevOps, whatever, CSAD, whatever. Then you can also explore CP, DSA, etc. There are many fields where getting your hands on whatever you can and stick with whatever you like and continue exploring as much as you can.
and also, if anyone, I will share the playlist for Rush DevOps if required.
Yes, if any one of us would like to have any personal questions, then you can connect with us on LinkedIn. All four of us are available.
All right. Uh, I think we can take one more last question for Divyansh. How did you get the internship opportunity at Flipkart?
Yes, so as I already stated during the start of the session, Unstock is an important platform, and that is exactly where I got the internship opportunity. So they have a hiring competition called Grid, which takes place every year, and that is where I would also suggest for you to keep updated and stay updated there. For Grid, it was first two rounds were BSA based. Then the third round was supposed to be a hackathon type thing, and where top 50 finalists would be called to Bangalore. But I was not selected for that. Still, after a few months, 2, 3 months, they sent a mail wherein they stated that they would like to give me an internship opportunity. So, mm, so now they have 2 more rounds of interview, and one was DSA based again, and one final one was HR based. So that is all. I again would say keep stay updated on Unstock because even apart from Flipkart, we tried other companies as well. Like personal growth for Adobe. Then uh, there are many companies that uh, post there. So, that-
All right. Thank you so much, Divyansh. Uh, you can share any important links that you have in the chat right now. We can forward it on our general chat on our WhatsApp group. Uh, Again, thank you so much, Team Aspersh, for taking out the time to join us today. I'm sure everyone learned a lot from your journey, not just about hackathons, but also about consistency, teamwork, and actually putting yourself out there. And once again, huge congratulations. Also, thank you everyone else for joining today's session. We hope to see all of you in future OSS events as well. Have a great evening ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you so
us.
much.
Of course.